What if I told you that everything you're looking for is already inside of you, but you're too busy running away from it to see it? That's the truth I had to face, and it wasn't easy. I used to believe that happiness was something you had to chase, something outside of yourself. I thought if I could just get the right job, the right relationship, or the perfect life, I'd be happy. I thought that if I could just keep moving, I would outrun the parts of me that didn't fit the picture of who I thought I should be. But here's the thing, running doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't take long before you realize that wherever you go, you're still there. I didn't realize that though, until I hit a wall. It's funny how we can spend years looking for the answers in everything except the one place we should be looking, within ourselves. It all started when I found myself stuck in a job that didn't satisfy me. I woke up every day, counting the minutes until I could leave. I told myself that this was just a phase. I told myself that if I could just work hard enough, something would change, that I would feel fulfilled. But deep down, I knew I was pretending. I was living in a way that wasn't true to who I was. I was running from the discomfort, the fear, the vulnerability of facing myself. I had a moment that I'll never forget. It was a rainy evening, and I was walking home from work, feeling the weight of the day pressing down on me. I walked past a cafe, and for some reason, something pulled me in. I sat down, ordered a coffee, and pulled out my phone, like I always did to distract myself. But that day, I didn't have the energy to scroll through mindless feeds. So I sat there, in the silence, and thought. It was in that moment of stillness that I realized how much time I had wasted running. I was avoiding my own thoughts, my own feelings. I was so afraid of being alone with myself that I filled the space with distractions, with noise, with things that didn't matter. But I realized in that quiet, rainy evening that I wasn't living. I was surviving, and surviving wasn't enough anymore. I'm sure you've felt that, haven't you? That gnawing feeling that something is off, but you can't quite place it. You filled your days with everything except what really matters. You've run from facing your truth, thinking that if you keep moving, you won't have to stop and look at yourself. But the truth is, you can't outrun yourself. The hardest part wasn't acknowledging that I was running, though. The hardest part was realizing why I was running. I wasn't running from the world or from my circumstances. I was running from me. I was afraid of who I was, afraid that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't enough to deserve the life I wanted. But let me tell you something. The moment I stopped running, I found the power to change my life. It didn't happen all at once. It wasn't a sudden epiphany where everything clicked into place. No, it was a slow process, a journey of rediscovering who I was beneath the layers of fear and self-doubt I had built up over the years. It was about learning to sit with myself, to be vulnerable, to stop pretending. One of the first things I realized was how much I had been avoiding the discomfort. I would run away from things that made me uncomfortable, whether it was difficult emotions or situations that challenged my sense of security. I thought that being comfortable meant being happy. But over time, I learned that comfort is often the enemy of growth. I began to step into the discomfort. I started having honest conversations with myself about what I really wanted, what I really needed. I began to notice the things that lit me up and the things that drained me. I started cutting out the distractions, whether it was people, habits, or routines that kept me stuck. It was small changes at first, choosing to spend my evenings doing something I actually enjoyed instead of zoning out in front of the TV, taking time for self-reflection, even when it felt awkward or uncomfortable. And little by little, I started feeling more alive. I started to recognize the parts of myself that I had abandoned, the creative side of me that I'd buried under the weight of what I thought I should be doing, the adventurous spirit that I had suppressed because I was too busy trying to please others. I remember the first time I stood up for myself in a situation where I would have normally just agreed to keep the peace. It felt terrifying, but it also felt empowering. It felt like I was finally reclaiming a piece of myself that I had given away without even realizing it. But here's the thing. There's no magic moment when everything shifts. There's no one event that suddenly makes everything make sense. It's a series of small, consistent steps. It's a decision to face yourself every single day, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels like you're not making progress. And that's when I realized something powerful. Growth isn't about achieving perfection. It's about accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all. It's about understanding that you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to run anymore. The turning point for me wasn't some big breakthrough. It was a series of tiny realizations, one after the other. The moment I stopped running, I stopped chasing something outside of myself. I stopped looking for happiness in places where it could never be found. I realized that happiness wasn't a destination. It was a way of being. It's easy to think that the things you want in life will bring you fulfillment. A better job, a new relationship, a different city. But when you finally stop running, you see that the life you want has always been here. It's within you. You don't need to go anywhere to find it. I learned that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel lost sometimes. The truth is, we're all trying to figure it out, and the only way to do that is to face the parts of ourselves that we've been avoiding. So I'm not here to tell you that everything will magically change overnight. I'm not here to give you a quick fix. What I am telling you is this: stop running, stop avoiding, sit with yourself, be honest, allow yourself to feel. Because here's the truth: when you stop running from yourself, you'll start discovering the things you were too afraid to see before. You'll start seeing your potential, your strength, your worth, and that's when you'll realize that you've had everything you needed all along. I spent years running from myself, and I wasted so much time in the process. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to make the same mistake. You don't have to keep running. You don't have to keep looking for happiness in places that don't exist. The moment you stop running, you'll begin to find everything you need right where you are. So stop, breathe, look within, and realize that the life you're looking for is waiting for you to finally show up.